DJI Air 3S, replacement video stutter. Got that coming up next. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Marcus Crawford and Mr. Brown. We spent the better part of the evening discussing the DJI Air 3S replacement that was sent to me and the video stutter that came from it. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. Well, this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to spend the rest of the show on this tonight.
Yeah,
and, you know, I got to say this. Never in my life have I had, regardless of, if I got a bad product, I would get a replacement for it, and it worked. There was never any question about it. And one of the things that I did, now I did not get a chance. My first flight wasn't until this morning. All right. So the video that's out there was I went out early before work today to shoot this video. Mm-hmm. And I dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's. Okay. I formatted the internal storage. I formatted the SD card, and I used the SD card to record today. I did all the calibrations. I did all the firmware updates. Everything was good to go. Okay. Got up, took off. I was monitoring the whole time on the controller. The feed looked great. No lag, no nothing. And it was a real simple flight. No master shots, no hyperlapse, nothing. I just wanted to keep it. I didn't even use Zoom. I wanted to keep it very simple. All right. Well, it seemed, and I noticed it just slightly on the raw footage, but I said, you know what? I think this is going to be okay. So I processed the whole video. And then after I got it out there, I noticed it was when I was yawing, especially when I was doing a turn, like I would come to the highway and I want to turn completely around. You would see it there, and it was noticeable. Now, our good friend Gorilla Man, he messaged me. Richard dropped a comment in the video as well, too.
Because Richard had the same issues as you did with his Air 3S.
Yep. He said, they said the same thing. And Gorilla Man told me the exact time markers, and I looked at them. I didn't see it at one, but I saw it the other one. And another guy said, it's present throughout. You need to double check and take a look at it. Now, I shot in 4K 30 on this, okay? Mm-hmm. And, I was really kind of like, okay, what's going on here? Because this time I'm using an SD card. I'm not using internal storage, all right? I did everything here. I waited. I had 22 satellites. I had plenty of, there wasn't any issue regarding that. The signal strength was fine the entire trip today. And, I felt good until, and this is one of these things you can't tell till you get home. Now, the other thing that I did was this. I updated DaVinci Resolve needed another update. So before I processed the video today, I did a firmware update for DaVinci Resolve. It's now went from 19 to 19.1. So I went through all that. And the other thing that I did is this. I shut down everything else on my laptop today. All my other external applications, when I was processing this in DaVinci, there was nothing else. All I was doing was processing this. And because I wanted to wanted my laptop to be, have 100% space, no issues as far as that's concerned. Okay. I really was doing my homework here. I mean, I really I was trying just to eliminate a lot of things here. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, my case was still open with DJI. They haven't really officially closed it. So I called them up this afternoon. And when I called them up, it took a while to get through, but I got through to a gentleman here, and of course he asked me the obligatory troubleshooting questions. What's the current firmware on there? What's the current app that you're using? What kind of SD card you're using? And of course I had all the answers. Wanted to know the serial number of the drone. So I had to get the box out because I didn't know that. I gave him the serial number. Went through everything, and we're on the phone about 25 minutes. And he comes back and he tells me that they want me, they're going to send, he's going to send me an email with detailed instructions on what they want. And they're going to want a copy of the video. I said, that's fine. I mean, it's out on YouTube, so you guys can look at it. That's not an issue. The firmware versions on everything, on the controller, on the drone itself, the Fly app that's being used, and the log files. Okay, so I went out, and there's a process now, and it's fairly straightforward to get the log files now. It's a lot easier than it used to be. So what I did was I hooked up a cable to the controller. Went in there, it showed you the file. There's a kind of a little tutorial to do that. So I went in there, grabbed the file, saved it to my desktop, and then saved that to a zip file. And then I attached that to the email. So I sent all this to them. But the one thing that really surprised me was this. They told me, I said, okay, so are you sending me a label to return it? Well, we'll talk to you in 24 to 48 hours. So are you sending me a replacement? We'll talk to you in 24 to 48 hours. And I'm like, okay, you're not helping me here, okay? I'm helping you guys out. I'm sending you information. I'm sending you everything and doing everything you asked, but yet you're not having me send this back yet. Why? There's an obvious problem with this, okay? Whether it's software, hardware, whatever, you need to have it back. You need to take it in your shop. You need to look at it, okay? And then
remind everybody, you're still in your like 15-day window. You can return for any reason you want to.
Exactly, Ron. You know, it's still within this 15-day window here. And I'm like, and that's what I told him. I said, I'll give you the original case number. And I did. I said, take a look at this, okay? This was filed well within the 15-day return window. So, well, we profusely apologize, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get this and I understand this, but you're not getting my point here. All right. You're asking me to provide all this information, which I will. That's not a problem. But yet you're not sending me a label to return this drone, which is obviously defective, and you're not sending me a replacement yet. You know, you're running me through the ringers here. I've already made a payment on the drone. All right. I'm like, you know, and here I am, you know, I have a $1,500 paperweight right now. I mean, it's no more than that. So, you know, I'm not real happy with DJI.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting 2 lemons in a row is, you know, pretty incredible. So I'm going to say that, you know, the quality control is a little more widespread than we first believed. I mean, I know Marcus, myself, Johnny, Tom Downing, we all have, you know, ones that are perfect. But it's not like the drones, everyone's defective or whatever, but there obviously is a certain amount of them that do have an issue. Whether the issue is software or hardware, that's to be determined at this point, I guess.
Right.
You know?
And you know what really, and this is something else that I thought about since I got off the phone with them, Ron, is I've gotten emails and I wish I could, you know, post them all up here from people literally all over the world. I got several from subscribers over in Italy, all right, detailing to me what's going on. And it's the same thing, of course. And they also are talking about the moire effect as well as the video stuttering as well. And quite a few of them talked about it, especially when the drone's turning. Okay. So it's something with possibly the gimbal mechanism, you know, because I've done this all the time. You know, it's like, you know, one of the questions they asked, you know, how often do you fly? I said, I've flown drones. I've hundreds of flights. Okay. And I have hundreds of videos out there and I've never had this issue before. And now here I am, I'm getting it twice. And what boggles me is that they don't have something out there on this and say, look, you know, we know this is a known issue. We're looking into it. So in the meantime, go ahead, send your drone back to us and we'll get you a new one. They didn't even say that. And see, that kind of concerns me because I'm getting these emails from subscribers literally all over the world who are telling me they're experiencing this issue and that they've contacted DJI, but yet DJI doesn't even acknowledge that this is an issue. It's it's obviously it's prevalent. I've had like 2 in a row. I mean, what are the odds? I mean, I next thing you know, I need to go play Powerball because I'll probably hit. I mean,
yeah, right. You wish those odds could work in your favor. I mean, and Bill, this is back to where not having the availability to get these drones inside the U.S. hurts you, because say if you'd have purchased this drone from Best Buy, you would just walk down there, give them the old one, and they'd hand you a new one off the shelf.
Exactly. Now, what was real interesting today, and this just, you know how you get ads pop up. You know, I have one of my landing page. It's a Microsoft landing page, but it's very ad driven and stuff based on your viewing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it popped up. I went out there. B&H Photo has the Air 3S and it's available to ship immediately. Okay, which surprised me. So the first thing I did was I went out to Amazon. Amazon has it, but it comes bundled with the DJI Power Station.
And so it's from a third-party seller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is real interesting. You know, it said it's available to ship immediately, but it's bundled with their Power Station, which was very interesting. And the Power Station was at a great price because you looked at what the price was, and it was almost like they were selling the Power Station for like $399. I mean, it was an incredible deal. If that's something that interests you, that's fantastic. But I went out there to see that. Now, you know, no, I didn't go out to Best Buy, but I did go out to B&H, and I confirmed that, and it's available to ship immediately. It's not like they're waiting on stock, which is very interesting. Okay, so you know that tells me that they've got their shipment in, which is good. And I expect probably Adorama or Best Buy are probably the same way right now. But, you know, the thing for me is this, Ron, is, you know, this has been going on now, what? I originally sent it back October 28th, and we're now November the 12th here.
What date did you receive the drone, Bill?
I received it the 26th, I think.
And today is the 12th of November.
And it's the 12th of November. So with that time frame there, you know, it doesn't add up to me, Ron. Hey, Marcus, welcome.
Welcome. Marcus is back in the home office, I see. I recognize that background.
You recognize all the crap behind me.
Yes, just like my place, okay? Great minds think alike, like you always say. So we were talking, Marcus.
Oh, it's a DJI swag
bag. That bag, that's nice. That's a nice
Marcus,
bag.
does that bag stutter when you use it? Does that stuttering video when you use that bag?
No.
Okay.
In fact, Bill, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was just looking at the video that I downloaded. I took the Air 3S with me to Las Vegas, and boy, it all looks brilliant. You were talking about yaws and stuff.
Stuttering.
Yeah, I don't see any of that on mine.
See, well, you know, and I was just talking to Ron about this, Marcus, and this is what, you know, I'm going back and looking at this, you know, from a chronology perspective. Okay. I got it, I think, on the 26th, and on the 28th is when I reported this issue to DJI. From the time frame, you know, it's from looking at 26th, and today's the 12th here, all right? And I was just telling Ron that I've received emails from several subscribers over in Italy that have contacted DJI support that told them about this issue, all right? And that with as many people reporting this issue is I think are, because I've gotten quite a few emails on this, that DJI hasn't even acknowledged this as a problem yet, which I'm finding really kind of hard to believe right now, because they put me through the standard today when I called them on the phone. You know, what's your SD card in there? Have you done all your firmware updates? Did you calibrate? Yes. You know, all that kind of good stuff. And they're walking me through this. And you would think that this would have creeped up by now and said, you know what? We know that this is a known problem right now. We're looking into it. And you know what? What we're going to do, we'll send you a return label and we'll send you out a new one. But no, what they asked me to do today was, and which I complied, send us a link for your video, which I did. Tell us the firmware versions and the app version, which I did. Get us your log files, which I did. I did all that. And then I asked them, I said, okay, are you sending me a return label and when is the replacement going to be sent? You'll hear back from us in 24 to 48 hours. I said, well, no. I said, I understand that, but I'm sending you all this information. Are you going to send this back to me? I said, we're still under the 15-day return window from when I received the drone. So this is a brand new drone. This isn't under care refresh. When am I going to get the replacement? You'll hear from us in 24 to 48 hours was their standard answer. They wouldn't tell me anything more than that today. When I was like, seriously, guys?
So, Bill, why don't you just return it? Just say, hey, I just want to return it. I'm not, and don't even look for an exchange. Just say, hey, I want my money back.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. That's exactly what I was thinking about doing. And then what I'm going to do this time around, instead of DJI, is wait till Best Buy gets it in. Now, I was just telling Ron, it is official. It's at B&H Photo, okay, for immediate shipping. And I didn't have time, but I think it may be at Best Buy. And if it is, I'll just go get it there.
Bill, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Lauren's asking you a question in the chat. It's the second one from the third one from the bottom now. He says, are you shooting in H.264 or H.265?
Whatever, it's 4K 30, and Lauren, I don't touch that. I mean, it's just.
What does it, Marcus? Do you remember what it comes set standard out of the box?
I don't. I'd have to go into settings to look.
Yeah,
Ron.
I think I never changed mine. I think mine's on H.265 out of the box. I guess what Lauren's getting around to is H.265 works better on Apple computers. Windows users should probably use the H.264.
I use 265 on my Windows computer and have no issue.
Johnny asked back there, could it be a laptop issue? And Bill, now here's a question. Since you've had this problem, have you gone out and filmed video with any other drone and seen and put it on the same laptop and see if you have any stuttering issues with any other drone?
No, but what I did was I went and I pulled up from my Air 3 a raw video on that, and it was fine. All right.
Okay.
And I looked at a couple other raw videos, and I looked at a raw video from the Mavic 3 Pro. It was fine. There was no question about that. And Johnny, just to answer your question, one of the things that I did before I processed this video is specifically, one, I went out and I updated DaVinci Resolve to the latest firmware, which is 19.1. It had a firmware update, and I literally shut down every other app on my laptop except for DaVinci Resolve when I was processing this video. And then when I uploaded it to YouTube, I did the same thing. Everything else was closed except for my upload to YouTube. I didn't have anything else open at that point in time because I didn't want to. And I have a pretty good processor on this. I mean, this is a pretty hefty price tag I paid for this laptop, and it has an upgraded processor and an upgraded video card as well too. So it's going to handle this. And I mean, I've been using this laptop for well over a year and a half, and I've uploaded how many dozens and dozens of videos. From the Mavic 3 Pro, from the Air 3.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, Lawrence bring up a comment. I think it came up last week's chat. He said, could be an outdated codec on your computer, but you think you're all updated, though, in the codecs, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm updated. And Lauren, thank you for that. Yeah, I am updated on that. It's one thing I did check out. I think Tom Dowling mentioned that last week when he was in the chat as well.
Richard's saying that the Air 3S can't do H.264, and I believe he's right. I don't believe there's a switch on the Air 3S. I believe it's just locked into H.265, but I'm not positive. But I believe Richard's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I've explored. I'm trying to eliminate things here, and and just trying. And this is where I'm at. And Ron and I just chatted briefly earlier today. It's either some kind of a hardware or software issue. There's something that's going on. And what's really strange is, I looked at the raw video when it came off, and it looked fine until I went back and I re-looked at it until I was looking at where it would yaw, where I would be turning, and then I saw the stutter. I discernibly saw the stutter at that point. Now, the time I didn't see the stutter in my two videos that I put out there is when I did return to home. It was buttery smooth during that time. There wasn't
John Flood's asked in the chat. He said, "Did you see the stuttering on DaVinci before you rendered the video?"
No, John, I didn't. And again, I went back and I did a test of the first drone, first Air 3S that I got from DJI. And what I did was I did 3 tests. Okay, what I did was I uploaded it in 4K, just the video itself to DaVinci Resolve, and then put it out on YouTube, and it was there. I uploaded the raw video to DaVinci Resolve 1080p, and it was still there. All right. Then I just directly uploaded the raw video itself to YouTube. No DaVinci Resolve. I put it out there. The stuttering was still there. So, it really has nothing to do, I think, with processing the video. All right. I still say, and I still think there's something that is embedded in that video file that's causing a problem with this.
Hey, Bill, you may have already addressed this, but I don't remember. Did you try watching the video just on the screen on the controller, and how did it look then? In other words, playback on the controller. And I realize that's probably going to be at a reduced resolution, but I'm just curious.
On the controller, no, I haven't done that, but I was watching it during the whole filming of it. Okay. I did. My eyes were glued to the controller today when I took it up for its flight. It wasn't a long flight, but I was really keen on paying attention to that because I wanted to see if there was anything I could see, especially during the times I was turning and yawing and things like that. And I really didn't see it on there. I know it's 1080p resolution on there, which is better than it used to be, but I really didn't see anything on there. So I felt kind of like, okay, I think it's going to be good. And I double checked the SD card was the same SD card that I used in the Air 3. I reformatted it, made sure it was okay, and that there was no issues on it, and there was no problems this time. And the first time, I remember, I used internal storage, okay? And today I used the SD card when I took it out for its flight today. So
Lauren makes another comment. He said H.265 can give some computers trouble having to update the codec is important.
Which is true.
Yeah.
And I agree with that, Lauren. I said, but here's my thing. Would dozens of people around the world all of a sudden not have the right codec for this in their computers? I mean, because it's been very, there's, like I said, there's been quite a few people that it's hit. And you would think that if I had the wrong codec, that, if I uploaded a video from the Mavic 3 Pro or the Air 3, which I
was going to say, put another drone in H.265 and shoot a couple minutes of video.
Yeah, and that's another possibility to do that. I just didn't have. I had to work.
Or I don't know. Even your phone, if your phone can shoot H.265 minute H.265 with the phone and see if it does anything, and you can even replicate drone flying the phone. You can walk around the house and yaw back and forth to replicate the movement of a drone.
Well, Greg puts up here, we tried another editor. No, Greg, and the reason I didn't was because, I bypassed the editor completely with the first footage from the first Air 3S that I had, and I uploaded it directly to YouTube, and it was still there. Okay, so I kind of eliminated the fact that it was DaVinci Resolve had anything to do with this. I still don't think it was, and and I understand what Lauren's saying about the codec, but on one hand, but on the other hand, if there's a multitude of people, literally around the world that are experiencing this, then, that means all of a sudden their codecs aren't working as well. I mean,
Hey, Bill, you may have already done this because obviously I came in late, but do you have an example handy that you could play for us on screen right now?
I could, and and see. You know what? Let me go ahead. I'm going to dial this up here, and I'm going to dial it up to a spot.
But knowing what you've been going through, trust me, I just uploaded all my video from Las Vegas, and by the way, I did that on the SD card, not on internal memory, and I was looking at it really hard just for what you're talking about, and I couldn't even on some fairly quick yaws, it looked pretty smooth, and I was shooting in 60 frames per second.
Okay, now here's the spot. I'm getting ready to do a turn up here. I have the sound off, so it's not going to be.
Hit that full screen button in the corner there to make it look bigger for us. There you go. Thank you.
See?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I see it. Absolutely. Yeah, no question about it. Hey, some of the guys, like maybe Lauren could answer this. Lauren, could that possibly be a gimbal issue? Something with the gimbal?
Or it almost looks like, I hate to say it, but, more of a bit rate type of thing or whatever, or a shutter, like, it looks like instead of shooting 30 frames a second, it looks like he's shooting in like 20 frames per second or some real slow shutter rate.
Yeah, you could see right there when it turned around, you could see it again right there. So
yeah.
But see, I'm going to go ahead and
Marcus, you're positive you're not seeing that in yours, right?
No, heck no.
I mean, I've shot 30, 60, a combination of both, and I'm not seeing anything.
And trust me, I've been looking for it. I've kind of had an eye out for it and have not seen it. So.
And here's the return to home, and I didn't see too much wrong with the return to home here. I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. Of course,
the return to home doesn't yaw or anything. It flies in a straight as an arrow.
Straight as an arrow, yep.
Yeah, return home looks good.
So, I mean, and I know a couple people are saying SD card. Well, guys, I was using the same SD card in the Air 3. It's the one, the SD card that I have in here. I reformatted it, and it was the one that I used in the Air 3, and it's the same one DJI recommends. It had,
and folks that weren't here from the beginning, Bill had the same results using the built-in SSD drive in the Air 3S.
Right.
So
it's just. Yeah, whether I used internal storage or an SD card, it's the same thing. And
don't worry, folks. Bill's not using a dollar store memory card in here. You have Five Below out west, Marcus, a Five Below memory card.
Yeah.
Intel Max Alert says a better compression but requires fast computer process. If your computer graphics is outdated, it might not handle it.
Yeah, but Bill's is not. So Bill's he's got a hot rod computer. So
yeah, I do. So
his computer got pulled over just the other day.
Yeah, for speeding.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely here.
Well, Barkley says just return it and end the problem.
That's what I think I would do. I think at this point, just return it and then wait till whenever and order another one. Like you said, maybe wait for Best Buy. If I was you, Bill, I would wait for Amazon, because obviously Amazon, if you had the problem again, you just send it back.
No questions asked.
Yeah,
that
makes the most sense. That makes
it off at your UPS store or whatever.
That's what I'm going to do. But the thing for me, and this is the big thing.
Before you go in that, Bill, and it's a shame because this, you saw Marcus's return to home video and stuff. If you actually had this in your hands, I know we always about to say the little Neo is fun to fly or whatever. But wait until you if you want fun to fly, wait until you get that Air 3S out there. That's double fun.
Yes, it is. Well, you know what? It was funny. Tom this weekend was saying, and I don't know if he watched iPhone's video or not, but he was talking. He goes, "Man, this thing flies like butter."
Yeah. I mean, Bill, people can argue about who is the best camera, which drone is the best camera. But Marcus, I don't think we can argue anymore which DJI drone handles the best, has the most tech built in it, is the fastest. I mean, it stomps the other drone, consumer level drones.
It absolutely.
In every way but the camera.
Yeah.
And the cameras don't slouch either.
Yeah.
So it's good build to of all the if you could have got a defective one, why couldn't it be something like the Mini? I mean the Neo. Why couldn't it be the Neo that was defective or something?
Well, excuse me. Having it happen once was bad enough, but twice in a row, wow. Okay. So yeah, it's going to go back. That's what I'm going to do here, because they've been. And I gotta say this. I usually would give DJI their fair share, and I'm a nice guy with them on the phone, but I'm persistent. I think you guys know I was persistent with Amazon, and I look what happened. So I've been persistent with DJI. I told them today, why aren't you sending me a label? Why aren't you sending me a replacement? And we'll be here in 24 to 48 hours. So yeah.
I guess they want somebody in the tech department to look all this stuff over and make some kind of evaluation. But what are they going to what are they going to tell you otherwise? Like, you can't send it back because it's not our fault. I mean, what are they? I mean, there's no other answer anyways, or whatever. Unless they can figure. I guess they must think that you're a newbie and you're doing something wrong, and they don't want to go through the whole process of shipping that thing back and forth because you didn't have a setting right or something.
Exactly. So Marcus hit the nail on the head. The perfect solution is I'm just going to send this back.
Yeah.
Get that all taken care of, and then wait till either Best Buy or Amazon has it and get it from them. And just
right at this point, you waited so long, anyways, or whatever, and of course, and when your bad weather starts to hit in Florida, your colder, windier days, the Air 3S is a wind cheater up there, right?
It is.
It'll laugh at your Florida winds, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like this is all foreign territory for me. Okay. I mean, how many drones have I had over the years? And same for you guys. Have everything out of the box is always. I've never had an issue. Well, the best drone I've had out of the box, I'll say this: the previous two, the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro, out of the box, zero. I mean, it was just absolutely been fine. I mean, Mavic 3 Pro is a gem. There's no issues with that. But I wanted the
Mavic 3 Pro up after it'd been out a while, so all the firmware updates would have ironed out any bugs, anyways. But Bill, the only thing I could think of, I brought this up last week. I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but maybe them not wanting to send new stuff so quickly is all tied into this. The drones not being able to get in the U.S.
They're struggling to get them in anyway.
You talked about the one drone coming from Canada. I think they're slow to do exchanges in the U.S. because they know it's such a struggle to get these drones in and out of the country.
I think you're right, Ron. I think you really hit the nail on the head with this, because this one came, and I think you guys know, this one came from Canada, and it had Canadian stuff all over it, and the waybill had that in there where it shipped from and everything, and I'm like, okay, because they told me originally what they were going to do was just send me a voucher and I could go out to the store and get one, but then they said we can get you one from Canada, and next thing I know, I got a tracking number literally within an hour of them saying that, which, I was like, fine with that. But obviously, you know what? The best bet here is to go ahead, send this back to them, get a return label, get it back to them, get my money back, and then go to either Best Buy or to Amazon and just get it there. We'll see. I'm a whatever member at Best Buy. So I have like 90-day return window with them.
Right.
So and they're super good, especially for their Plus Care members or whatever they call them. So I'm golden with them. They love me beyond words. So yeah, I'm either going to do Best Buy or Amazon with this. That's going to be the road to go.
Well, I hope we can come to a resolution of this, because even though you go that route, maybe there's other people that are still maybe they can't send a drone back for some reason. So I hope we can figure out what the root of this is and how it can be solved.
Yeah, at the very least, so I want some good to come out of this, and my sending the logs and my video, hopefully we'll be able to get some answers as to what's going on here. My thinking is there's something with the gimbal here, because you're putting, when you're doing a yaw, you're putting stress on that gimbal. I mean, and it should be buttery smooth, and it's buttery smooth on every other drone that I've had.
Somebody's probably already asked you this in the chat, but you calibrate the gimbal?
Oh yeah. Calibrated gimbal, IMU.
So what
everything
it, what it reminds me of is electronic image stabilization on a yaw, where it has to catch up, right, as it turns around.
Yeah, it's like
You
he's
know,
flying
you
one
can
of those.
only move so much on that, so far on that sensor, and then it has to catch up.
Mark, it's like he's flying one of your budget drones, and the
Uh-huh.
ESI just can't keep
Right.
up with the turns.
Right.
It seems rushed. Peaceful. I think it seems rushed to me. Mag 4 will be the same thing. Potential ban. First thing. I mean, maybe rushed to the quality control issues, but certainly the ones Marcus and I have show no signs of being rushed. But
Not at all. And by
that
the way,
doesn't the quality control wasn't rushed. That the units didn't get checked as closely as they usually do at the factory.
and Neil Peart is a great drummer too, if we're talking about Rush.
Oh yeah, are they on tour or Marcus? Did you see him in Vegas?
No, I didn't. I did go in the Sphere though. That was pretty cool.
Bill's saying it's not a gimbal issue; it's dropping frames.
Well, I've seen frame dropping on drones before. That's typically more consistent no matter how you fly it, though, not just in a yaw like that. So,
well, let's get back to the bit rate. We do know that this has a slower bit rate than the Mavic, than the Air 3 did. I forget what the numbers were, but it did the bit rate slower. I wonder if it's tied into the bit rate somehow.
No, because ours aren't doing it, Ron. Yeah. I doubt it. It's got to be something else. But I think that's a good point Bill is making.
Down 1080p and see if it's still dropping.
Yeah, try it.
I did that with the first drone. I processed that in 1080p through DaVinci Resolve, and it was still there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
I think Richard tried mobile solutions like that too, and he couldn't sort it out either.
Question of the day: what did you think of DJI Air 3S replacement video stutter? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.